One moment. Hey, look, there we are. I think YouTube just got healthy again. So, hey, hello, and welcome to the show. Sorry for everyone on Twitch and other places where this show already started a couple of minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. But YouTube was late in kicking into gear. So I said hi to people over in our chats. We've got the YouTube chat. Hey, Bob, Dave Odessa, Charles Burniford, hello. Thanks for stopping in over there. And over here in our Discord, hey, Starman, Some Nice, Andy Calloway, John Nodge, Blitz City DIY, C. Grover, Thin Man, Andy Calloway. Yeah, hey, thank you. Thanks for jumping in. I don't know what happened with YouTube there, but it looks like it's up and running now, and it says it's healthy. I also mentioned, look, this is coming soon. AdaBox, you may have gotten yours already. It is shipping. Shipping started a couple weeks ago, I think. Roughly, and I don't know if they're still available. I heard some people saying they were unable to get new orders in. We had a list, the ongoing subscription list. That's going to be changing in the future with AdaBox Flow, but right now this one was still based on the subscriber list, about 4,000 people. Those things shift and change. Emails went out. You should have gotten yours if you were on that list. I believe you can go to the Adafruit shop and click on and try to buy. It will, I believe, get you involved with the email subscription to see what's available. Either way, we're going to be doing an unboxing, so I'm planning that right now. I've gotten started working on some things for that. Plan tentatively is for the 17th of December. That's not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So if everything works out and everyone's good with that, that's what my plan is. So I'm excited to get this out there to the world. If you've gotten your AdaBox, you can jump in already. We hold on to some of the Learn Guide stuff until the weekend before the unboxing. That's traditionally how we've done that, just to avoid spoilers. You can also wait. If you've gotten it and you want to just wait until the unboxing night and do it along with me, that's fun too. You can do it any way you like. I won't tell you how to live your life. So, what else is going on here? Coupon codes. So we do have, I didn't do a workshop coupon code because we got this one going right now, and I thought we would focus on this one, which is the Holiday Gift Guide coupon, which is 15% off of in-stock items that are in the Holiday Gift Guide. It's Adabright. So Adabright is the coupon code. You can use that on items that are in the Holiday Gift Guide. I'll show you that in a moment. That is good from the 1st through the 7th of December, so you've got a few days left to use that. Expires at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time here in the U.S. What's available? If you head to either the main page, you'll see there's a banner there, Holiday Gift Guide. Go ahead and click that. I'll move my coupon code out of the way a little bit. Here is the gift guide. So we have Sparkly and Bright, Fruit Jam and Extras Fruitcake, Kits and Packs, and Modest Yet Merry, gifts under $20. So check out some of these items. For example, some of these really big, this is pretty cool, 15% off some of these really large NeoPixel netting, 20 by 20, 40 by 20, 1 by 2 meter, these really large nets that you can put on a bush or on your roof or on a porch. And do things like WLED with X lights is pretty popular for that. Aaron's got some Learn Guides on using those. So those are big, those are expensive. It's nice to be able to get a bit of savings on those. So you can use this Adabright coupon code to get yourself 15% off of the items in the guide. So take a look, a whole bunch of sparkly things, some fruit jam things, and looks like some of those are in stock. Hey, how about that? Get a discount on a fruit jam. That's pretty great. And some of the accessories for the fruit jam there. Here's some kits that we have. The snow globe kit. These are kind of cool. Check those out. And then these less expensive ones if you want to do some smaller stocking stuffer sized things, some gifts for that maker in your life, then you can get 15% off on those. So that is the coupon code for today. It is Adabright, 15% off on just the items in the Holiday Gift Guide. Andy Calloway says, I think I've got my own mission control back here. I've got stuff going on. Hey, why did one of those turn off? That's mysterious. Or did I miss one? I'll talk about that just a little bit. So, partly for doing the Ada box, I wanted to add a little background. Let's see. Number 2, why did you go out? Let's try to send something else to it. I might have to toggle. There it is. Huh, I don't know what happened to that one. It fell asleep. I bet that's it. I thought I had reset the sleep timers on these. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this guy here. May have to swap some around. But yes, this is a haul of 22-inch old monitors that I got for free. And I've been working on setting up a video display matrix with them. I don't have video wall proper. I don't have any of the hardware to do like one image or video spread across all 9 of those, but I do have the ability to send an image to all 9 of them through a switcher, and that's a HDMI switcher right there. So we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Someone said Windows update. No, listen bright over in the YouTube. No AdaBox unboxing today. You may have seen that image up, but that was just me mentioning that I am planning for the 17th of December. So that is the current plan. So it'll be announced once we know for sure, but that is the current thinking, is the 17th. So no unboxing today. You're okay. All right. What else have we got? I've got a recap of Product Pick of the Week. I've got a CircuitPython Parsec for you. And I've got a couple little gear report things to talk about. Vintage retro gear stuff. And we'll continue diving into this planning for the Christmas lights project that I've been working on, or holiday lights project. Okay, so let's do this. On Tuesdays, I've got my Product Pick of the Week show. It looked, for some reason, like that. What the heck? Here's a little recap. The Feather STM32F405. The USB-C is for data and power. LiPo battery charger, onboard NeoPixel, tons and tons of GPIO. This has a Stemma QT port on it. On the bottom, this has the micro SD card reader, so you can use that. It is over SDIO, so it's quite fast. Port for this in CircuitPython, Arduino, and MicroPython. I have it plugged into USB-C for power and data. You can see the NeoPixel on here. It's green right now. It's going to flash to blue when we write data to the SD card. So I've got a micro SD card plugged in there. Data I'm logging is the CO2, humidity, and temperature coming off of this SC041 sensor breakout that I have plugged in using I2C. Feather STM32F405 Express. Indeed it is. All right. Yeah, I tried during the minute there. I tried. That one is flaky. It's turning itself on and off. Bummer. All right. The nice thing here was that I had 9 perfectly matched monitors. So we'll see. If I can't revive that one, I may have some rearranging to do, or I'll put something special in the middle like a CRT. We'll see. Speaking of CRTs, here's my first gear report. I got a new CRT. Aren't you excited for me? Are you tired of these CRTs? So this one is a little black and white Sony. It's a SSM 910. It was used on a film production cart. Razor sharp because it's black and white. Let me lower the brightness on this so you can see it a little better. Yeah, it's never going to look good on that camera. I have it sideways because on top of it here I've got my PlayStation 1 that I fixed up. And one of the neat things here on PlayStation 1 with the, what's the Namco Museum CD I have in there, is that it has a Tate mode, if I can remember how to engage it, where you can tell the games to play vertically like an arcade game. Let me reset this. This will take a moment, but so the whole interface of the CD is not that way, so you have to kind of tilt and deal with a horizontal. Oops, are you on? There we go. A sort of rotated display until you get to the menu item where you can tell it to switch over to vertical mode. Oh, I hear it spinning. Well, I'm breaking everything today. Let's see. I'll give up on this in a moment if it doesn't. There we go. Okay, so there's PlayStation. I don't have any sound on this, but there's the PlayStation logo. You can see. I forgot how slow this first PlayStation was to load stuff. The CD is spinning along there, probably at 1x, so the data doesn't come fast. One thing about Tate mode, I think you generally want to have the TV off before you rotate it, because there are actually magnetic field things where you'll see the image get a little warpy if you start moving it around once it's plugged in and powered up. So got this stationed the way it is. Okay, so menu, games. Let's go to Galaxian. That'll be a little clearer. Okay, loading. Please wait. And I think there's a menu item maybe here for doing the rotation. Okay, there it is. So precaution for arcade mode. The arcade vertical mode can be played by setting a horizontal monitor in the vertical position. This could cause the monitor to fall or cause an injury or monitor damage. Be careful. Will you play the arcade mode? Yes. Hey, here it goes through all of the arcade power-up tests. I'll put a coin in and start. And there you can see I've got nice proper ratio arcade mode Galaxian, which is not as good as Galaga, but there it is. And it's of course missing the sound because I don't. This has no speaker built on. This was just meant as a monitor. So there you go. I'll let that cook back there. So that's one cute little find. This one's a 9-inch diagonal display. Another thing that's nice about these black and white ones is they're short. It's only that deep. Color, these equivalent Sony like PVMs that are color tend to be quite deep. I don't know what the reason is for that, if focusing the 3 color tubes through their grills and all that requires the distance, but I've noticed that the black and white ones tend to be more cube shaped. Okay, that is it for that monitor. Let's do a CircuitPython Parsec, and then I'll go into the second little retro dealioid that I've got. So here we go. All right, so here we are, up and running. For the CircuitPython Parsec today, I wanted to introduce the CircuitPython microplot. So this is a library that allows you to plot data without doing a lot of the work manually, which is terrific. So particularly for things like sensor data. I was showing off a project recently where I was using the STM32. You saw it in that video from the product pick of the week, with a CO2 sensor on it. It also does temperature and humidity. If you wanted to plot that data on a screen, you could kind of roll your own, or you could use microplot. So this is CircuitPython _uplot, U for micro, and it is available in the community bundle. So you can install it by, if you're using CircUp, you can go to CircUp install CircuitPython _uplot, and that'll install the library and maybe some extras. I can't remember. I think it's just that one library. What I'm doing here is importing both the CircuitPython microplot Cartesian and the MicroPython plot. I thought I had color also in here. Where did it go? I don't know where it went. This might not be the exact one I was using. Okay, we'll see what happens. Because there's also a microplot set of colors. Oh, there it is. Microplot color right there. So what I'm doing is creating a plot object by saying plot equals plot, and then positioning it. I'm starting at 0, 0. Width and height, I'm just using the display width and height. And then padding, I have 20 pixels of padding. It does a default padding. If I take that off, you'll see the graph get bigger. That padding can be helpful if you are writing any of the legends and things, or in this case, I've got these numbers of the X values and the Y values here. And in fact, let me get a little closer to that. Sorry about the reflection on there. That's not colored on the screen. That's just the reflection of my lights. Let's go to focus that a little sharper. There we go. This is running on a Pi badge right here using CircuitPython 10. So the next thing I'm doing is setting the axis parameters to be a Cartesian. If you don't say anything, you get a square for your plot. You can use a Cartesian, and you can use just a line. So Cartesian gives us the X and Y. And then I'm also telling it I want ticks. So here I've got tick grid is false. We can turn that to true and get a full grid on there. Tick height of 6 by 6. The tick color I'm setting to teal, and then show text I'm setting to true, which is why I'm seeing those numbers show up. And then this is my data. I'm just creating a couple of lists here. I've got X data of, in this case, I'm just using sort of even horizontal numbers, but that could be time value. And then Y data here, I've given it some random numbers that give us this little 4, 2, 3, 6, 2, 60, and then down to 1, which is what we see plotted. So to plot those, I can just call Cartesian plot, which is the plot. You can have multiple plots, but this is the one plot I'm using. The X data for X, the Y data for Y, and then I set the line color here to red. And then simply display that plot inside of the display root group. I'm not doing anything in the main loop here. You could be shuffling data around, getting stuff in real time. But the most simple, I think this is one of the most simple uses of this, is just to simply say, I've got a couple of bits of data. Maybe you've got CSVs being generated that you're storing to SD card, and then you just want to pop that on screen. So this is a very deep and thorough library. I've just started using it. So if you're interested, I'll do a little more with it and show you some of the powers that it has. But I thought this was very cool in just a few lines of text, setting up your plot and plotting your data. And so that is how you can use CircuitPython microplot inside of CircuitPython. And that's your CircuitPython Parsec. CircuitPython And big shout out to Todd Kurt, who suggested that. You can always send me your suggestions of things you'd like to have me show in CircuitPython Parsec. Thanks, Todd, for coming through with that. All right, let's see. Just checking the chats. Johnny Bergdahl says, OMG, a CRT. Yes, I have a lot of CRTs, it's true. I've got another one from that score. I have a friend who owned a special effects company that worked on a lot of films and TV shows in the 90s and 2000s. And he was moving stuff from a storage unit and called me up and said, hey, I've got some stuff you might be interested in. So here's the other big score I got, which is a video mixer. So let me jump over here and talk about this cool thing. And I'm going to turn on a light actually over here. I haven't finished figuring out lighting for using that video wall and actually seeing me in front of it without reflecting a bunch of light off of it. So for now, we'll just deal with that. But yeah, that makes it a lot easier to see what's going on here. So there you go. Hands for scale, if you're wondering how big the thing was on the desk here. This is a Panasonic, it is a WJ-MX12. And it is essentially a two-source standard definition video mixer with a frame buffer built in for doing certain types of effects, as well as some alpha matting, some color effects, different wipes. So I haven't even plugged it in yet. I assume it works, but who knows? We'll take a look at it in another, a little more in depth sometime. Let me focus on this. So you can see here we've got two sources. They can either be S-video, which is going to be the best quality you're going to get, or it can be a composite video over BNC cable in out there, so you can view that source. So you might have a camera or cassette recorder coming in and then monitor that. And you can also mix audio, which is kind of nice. So you can have two camera sources and fade between them, and fade audio as well as video. What else has it got? It does some type of syncing, I'm not sure which. And this is your sort of master out for recording. So here's the source mix between A and B. So the two video sources would be A and B. And you've got choices of different shapes of mixes. It can be fades, it can be horizontal lines, you can do some strobing and sort of slow-mo. So it has a bit, I don't know how big the frame buffer is, but enough frames that it can do some of these sort of stutter edits and things like that. You've got different wipe modes, you can create different border shapes, you can set hard or soft edges on those. These are the audio crossfader, so audio 1 to audio 2 crossfade. So just with this, you could go between two camera sources and microphones at the same time if you're doing like a news type of show. That's about all I'll talk about because I don't know much about it yet and I haven't used it. This particular unit was used with a motion control rig, which was pretty cool. So there was a rack about this high, had that monitor in it, as well as another set of monitors that I'll show you later on another show. A motion control head from Ultimat, which was essentially controlling a camera, a motorized camera in a repeatable way so that you could do effects shots on top of live action plates. It was used on the Star Trek TV shows, I'm not sure which ones. But this rack would go into a, let's say, a motion control shoot of a miniature with a cassette deck, maybe half-inch tape or something that already had the live action. So you would set up your camera move and record video on that, but you're also recording the motion data. Then when you went on set to do the exact same camera motion on miniatures of like a spaceship that was supposed to be flying by in the window outside, you would use this to be able to crossfade between them to try to match or do little like punch-ins and things like that, or chroma. So it was used just more as a preview thing to get a good clean take of a motion-controlled camera move. It wasn't used for production video editing. It's a little low power for that, but a pretty cool gizmo. From the little I've looked it up online, seems like people dig these for like video effects, for doing live visuals, for concerts and that sort of thing that have a certain low-res aesthetic, for glitch stuff. It can feed back on itself, so you can feed one output into the other input and do, fractal-looking video looping repeats and stuff like that. So kind of cool. Joystick. So it's got the nice crossfader, but it also has a positioner joystick, so you can move, I think, picture-in-picture elements of one video around, or some of the shapes can be moved around with that. It does a little bit of color correction, but in the new year, I can't play with this right now, but in the new year I'll hook this up to a couple of sources and a couple of outputs so that we can take a look and listen to this super cool Panasonic mixer. So that's it. Get this out of the way here, if it works. Hoping it works. The monitor worked, which is good. They tend to, if they're left in a climate-controlled space. There's a chance the caps don't leak and everything turns out okay. So, let's see. Cool mixer. Heck yeah. What else? Let's move into talking about this Christmas lights project. So I must confess, we didn't have this because of Thanksgiving and another scheduling issue. So it's been a couple weeks. So I can't remember how much I talked about this idea, but it's just a notion of doing a WLED project with some NeoPixel strands. I ordered the stuff. Last time I was just using some sort of stand-in things. So I thought I would show you what Adafruit stuff I'm planning on using. And depending on time and interest, I may do a little bit of putting this thing together, at least the first strand software and all that, because I think it's nice to see those things happen in real time. So this is not a cooking show today. So let's pop back over here, and I'm gonna just make sure I can see the chat here. Discord. Where'd you go? Adafruit, a broadcast chat. There we are. All right. So the box of goodies. I've got Sparkle Motion with antenna. So this has the built-on antenna, which should be fine for my needs. We do have a version of Sparkle Motion with a connector for doing an external antenna that'll give you a little more range on it, sending controls to it. So if you're not familiar, Sparkle Motion is our board that's, sort of specifically designed to run LEDs, LED strands, RGB LED strands, NeoPixel strands, grids, matrices, nets, those kinds of things. We have a few outputs for those right here. Easy to you don't have to solder, you just screw terminal into there. It can run CircuitPython. I think we can run Arduino on it. It's ESP32 based board, but it's really, it shines at WLED, which is a really nice sort of no-coding LED driving software. The Sparkle Motion board has a few neat features on it for that. It can use USB-C to initially program it or install the software on it and power it. You can also drive the LEDs over this, or you can use an external barrel connector for DC power. And that can be 5 volt, 12 volt, or 20 volt. So we've got options there. I'm using 5 volt LEDs, so I'll leave that there. But if I actually need to check, I'm not sure what the current rating is for the USB-C on here versus the DC. Actually, the DC can be anywhere from 5 to 24 volts. USB-C is power delivery, and you can ask for, from this type of power delivery brick, you can ask for 5 volts, in this case 12 or 20. These will do a lot of these will do other voltages as well, and if you get out a magnifying glass and read these under here, it'll often tell you what voltages and current ratings you can get. This also has some extras on it, so it's Wi-Fi. You talk to it with a phone app is one of the more popular ways to talk to it, but you can also use remotes. So this one is a WizNet remote, which uses ESP Now, so essentially the Wi-Fi radio on here, to talk to it. And this will turn it on and off, brightness control, and then pick one of 4 presets. Or you can use these inexpensive IR remotes, because we have an IR receiver built right on there. So this will make it easy for someone who doesn't want to launch a phone app to control things, to go among presets. There's usually some preset buttons like these DIY buttons on here. Or if you're accepting just solid color assignments, you can pick these or mix. I think you can mix with these. So that's the board that's going to drive it. these, on Lamore's suggestion, will be our LED lights. I might do a little, wrap these on a little Christmas tree, is what I'm thinking, a small workshop Christmas tree. So these are the, sorry, I don't know why I have such a shallow depth of field on this today. These are neopixels inside, one per star. I think these are 20 or 30 on the strand. And we've got I need to check actually, I can never remember which end is the input and the output on these. If anyone remembers, let me know. I'll actually check before I plug that in backwards. But these have these JST 3-pin connectors, so you can chain them to each other. And you can also, if you don't want to cut the wires on it, you can get some of these. We sell just a little pigtail JST SM plug set. So when I figure out which one is the right one, let's see, will this help me? Yeah, this will help me. I already did one over here. You can do this on the Sparkle Motion side. Don't need that one. And then that'll be this on the NeoPixel strand side. So let's do that, in fact. These are 3 outputs that we have on here, so 19, 22, and 21. Those are the pins. I hopefully have a small enough... Yay, I do. Okay, so these are marked with a silkscreen on here for positive, data, and ground. And I'll put that on, what did I say here, pin 21, somewhat arbitrarily. And just screw those down. So you could choose to cut and strip and maybe tin, lightly tin the wires on the strand. Oh, I totally missed. I forgot, you got to unscrew these all the way before you start trying to use them. So if you don't want the added connectors, you can certainly cut and strip the JST connector off of your strand there, but I'll leave that on there. So I'm just following the coloring on the NeoPixel strand there. So red going in on the right, green, sometimes those are white for the data, and black for ground. Now, nice thing here is we can, at this point, usually get away with just a single output and then plug in multiple strands of these back to back with each other. So at this point, there's kind of no guesswork. You know what's going to plug in. So this right here, these can only go in one way. That just doubled my available pixels. So in either in CircuitPython or Arduino, or in this case WLED, we'll just say, hey, I have 40. These are 20 each. I have 40 LEDs on data pin 21. And then we can drive those either as a chase pattern or twinkling every other one, however you want to do a sort of simple effect. Or you can do these as logical groupings. Even though it's one physical strand, you can tell the software that it's actually 2 logical groupings, almost pretending that it's 2 separate physical strands. So you can very easily arrange this in a way that works for your design. So leave that. So I've got a few sets of the LEDs there, and I've got also a little case that this will go in so that it looks nice, is protected, and can mount onto something, a tree or something like that. This is a nice little snap fit case that the Ruiz brothers designed. These are printed in nylon, I think, or some laser sintered material. I don't think that's FDM. You can still access the reset button there. You can also still see kind of LEDs glowing through, but that's a nice setup there. And then to power it, I actually got a 3 amp 5 volt power supply, switching power supply. I think this is one that has an inline power switch, which I thought might be nice. If you just, even though you have remotes, sometimes you're just going to bed, you're turning off all the lights in the house. Why are the holiday lights on? Just click that on and off. So that's probably how I'll power this, unless I find that I need to go higher current over that DC barrel. So that's the setup that I've got there. Let me go back over here and let me look at our time and see if I can get this up and running without too much fuss. Yeah, we got some time. All right, let's do it. Let me come back over here, like so. Somebody said storage is easy too. Can I tell you the thing that has made putting away, we have fall Halloween lights, about 5 strands of orange and purple. And I have about 8 strands of these red and green alternating lights, as well as the multicolor lights that we have on our Christmas tree currently. Almost all of them now live on empty 3D printer spools. So I saved them over the years. Nowadays I'm using reusable ones. I tend to buy like on the little cardboard spool, and then those go into the So I don't generate as many free spools, but you can fit 1 or 2 of these sort of typical, I don't know what they are, 15-foot length. So I don't have big wads of wire, which is nice. So if you have a lot of 3D printer spools and you're wondering what to do with them, they're really great for Christmas lights. Oh, someone said my audio. Let's see. Did my audio go out? It looks like it's still on. So I wonder if it was crackling when I was leaning up and stuff. I think this might be that lav that I tightened and it fixed, but maybe it's loosened again. So anyone else in the chat, if you hear audio issues, let me know. And Bob also said, I see you're connecting to 21 instead of 19. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is 19 the default? Let me know. We'll figure it out soon enough. Yeah, let's go for this. So I'm going to bring up a browser, and I'm going to unplug the Pi badge, and now I will plug in, let's add in, let's change the view a little bit. This should work. Hold on. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so here you can see on my desk, there is my out of focus Sparkle Motion. I'm going to plug it into my computer over USB-C. And, oh, I guess we have probably a CircuitPython or Arduino. Yeah, I think we must have that's really nice looking. We have an Arduino sketch, I think, running on there by default that is running a loop over probably all of the terminals. Well, that's nice. You know it's nice when you just plug in and say, okay, that'll work for now. But let's get a little more specific. So here, I just went to install.wled.me, and I have my Sparkle Motion plugged in. Let's do install to find the COM port. I'm going to use this USB single serial, cu.wch USB serial, and then a big number. So that's generally the one you want to pick, is that one with a W. Install WLED. Do you want to install WLED? I do. You can't see the LEDs. Sorry about that. Some of the things that I do in my broadcast software, I forget that you don't see them until I hit push, and my monitor that I look at them on is over there. Let me add here. That'll make my view of everything smaller, but I'll have right in my face an actual broadcast monitor and not my preview monitor only. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate the note. Okay, so yeah, those were sparkling and all. That's what happened when I plugged it in. It looks beautiful. But that, I think, is just an Arduino sketch that we have on from the factory. Very nice looking. So you can see over here in WLED, I just picked my COM port, hit install. It takes a couple of minutes. One thing I know, I can't remember when or why, and I don't know, maybe I haven't installed WLED in a little while, so maybe they fixed this. Used to be you'd get a pop-up that would immediately ask for your Wi-Fi credentials, which was super helpful. This stopped at some point, and so the way to get the Wi-Fi credentials onto it is actually when WLED gets installed, this Sparkle Motion here, or any board that you're putting it on, will immediately create its own temporary network, ad hoc network you can join. And I think we get instructions about that. So it'll be better to do that from my phone so I don't mess with my computer. But basically, I will put my phone onto the hotspot created by, or the network created by the Sparkle Motion. That allows me to give it the credentials, and then it'll shut that down and get onto my network. So, oh, configure Wi-Fi scanning for networks. Maybe this got fixed. Yeah. Hey, all right. Let's do the one that's in here. Let's wonder if it's going to hide that. Hold on for 1 second. I'm just going to get rid of that for a moment. All right, we're back. It blanked them out with asterisks, but I wasn't sure. Device connected. Visit device. Sure. So this loads up the WLED UI that's running on the device. This is the web page running on the device for setting all of its setting, creating programs, and so on. So thanks. Not now. Okay. So what we'll do is go to config immediately, LED preferences, and start changing things. So the type of LED and color order is anyone's guess right now. We'll have to see. I bet it's not GRB. We'll find out. So we'll say this is 40 pixels. The GPIO is 21. And I think that's all I'll change right now. So I'll hit save. And, oh, we'll go back. So, okay, I got to say never ask for that. Okay, so let's tell it to be red. It went to green. Okay. So I'm actually going to write this down because I don't want to fumble with it 7 times. So let's write down. Right now, red is green. Let's go to blue. Blue is red. Let's go to green. Green is blue. So GBR might be it. Watch that it's already what it thinks it is. GRB, okay. I don't know. GBR, really? Save. Back. Red is red. Blue is green. Green is blue. So, which one is correct? Red. Okay. So, BGR. That's my guess. Are you screaming at me at home? BGR. It's like a fun little puzzle. Blue is blue. Green is green. Red is red. Yay! I'm kind of curious. Do we say color order on this product? Star pixel. Yeah, look. It's now, oh, it says now it's BRG. That's not it either. All right, maybe I'll see if I can. It's a moving target, so it's probably best to put a note that you should try everything until it works. But that's how I would go about that. There may be smarter ways. BGs are. So, yay! Now I have the proper colors on there. What next? In config, so Wi-Fi is good, LED preferences are good. 2D configuration is if we're going to do like a matrix, and we're not. User interface. So I like everything actually the way it is. Let's go back. Sync interfaces we're not going to do. I've shown this before, but this is if you have multiple Sparkle Motion or other WLED devices and you want them to talk to each other over Wi-Fi or over ESP Now. Time and macros, nothing to change there. User mods. So this I'll go to the Sparkle Motion Learn Guide to check if I want to do audio reactive stuff. There's a microphone on here. And if I want to do any of the infrared stuff for the remote or the ESP Now stuff, that's, I think, all considered user mods. You can also add buttons and things over like the STEMMA QT port. You can do I2C stuff. So most of those little mods to the baseline WLED are here. In fact, before I do any of that, let's just go back to the main interface and check out some patterns. So this is solid, but if I do, let's say, a chase. So this is all bundled up, so it's hard to see, but this is running from one end to the other and back using one color. If we do chase 2, we can have a foreground color and a background color. So this will be red being chased by green, green being chased by red, which is cool. Overall brightness, I'm going to just ditch that way down so you can see these a lot better. There we go. Okay, so now we see it kind of just doing something. You can change the timing on these, which is really nice, particularly if it's like holiday lights that are going to be visible all the time. You just don't want, I don't want at least sort of hyperconnect stuff. Oh, connection to light failed, it says. Let's see if that's true. I'm just going to reload here. Yeah, connection to light did fail. All right, let's reboot it. Oh, you know what? That's the sort of fade on off, isn't it? Is there a reset? Let me pop the top off. I think it's that one, isn't it? Yeah, do they both do the same thing? Oh, there's the reset above it. Okay. Okay, so reset. There and see if we can get on. Yeah, now we're back on. I'm not sure what happened there other than, yeah, this computer is on that same network and it's wired, so that I don't know what was going on there. Let's just test solids again. Good. Oh, those are working. So in config, user mods, let's go over to Sparkle Motion. And I'm going to scroll down to the Learn Guide. Let's see. Pin out should tell me. It's also, I think, on the silk screen on the bottom there. If you have one in front of you without a case on it, you can check IO remote is on pin 32. Let's set that. I don't know if any of the audio reactive info is on here, but let's do that. So back over user mods. And am I wrong? Is it not in this section for IR remote? It might not be. IR remote is on LEDs, okay. So IR GPIO, what did I just say? 32. Pin 32. Oh, it's used. Weird. Right now that's, what's that being used for? That's mysterious. Let me check the guide and not the silk screen. IR receiver. Yeah, pin 32. GPIO 32. Well. So what does this think it's being used for? We might have to check a couple of pages. So right now it thinks that my output is on pin 21. Yeah, good. Touch threshold of 32 is not a pin number, so I can ignore that. It's just trying to trick me. Okay, I'll go back to user mods and see if anything is set to 32. Yeah, okay, so by default, it's using pin 32 as one of the I2S mic pins. So I'm just going to set it to unused and save, and that should free up pin 32 for my IR. So I'll go back to LED preferences. And then here in IR GPIO, 32 is now available. Oh, I don't know if that's showing up. Yeah, it's not showing. Huh. That's funny. This doesn't show my pop-up lists there. Sorry about that. But it was essentially saying before this was grayed out. So if I hit save, let me just check the other prefs around that. IR. Wait, did it not take? Pin 32. Save. I think you might need to click outside of the drop-down box. It could be just this browser. I'm not sure. No, it's not taking. Why? Pin 32. Remote. Oh, I got to tell it which kind of remote. How about we'll do a 40 pin or 44 key RGB remote. Apply R changes to main segment only. I don't know what that is. Save. Did it take? It's not taking. Why is that? Maybe I got to give the user mod a pin number. I'll put you on pin 33. Turn off I2S pin 32 to use unused. Yeah, that's weird. I had. Can I turn this off entirely? No. Yeah, Thin Man, thank you for the note. So you turn off I2S pin 32 to unused to get the IR to work. So pin 32, I set that to unused. Hit save. Let's go back to that and make sure that, yeah, so see here, pin I2S SD is unused. I don't see anywhere else that 32 could be being used because it's only allowed in one place at a time, and it was there. So now IR GPIO set to 32. Settings saved. It doesn't want it. Why does it not want it? I'll check the guide in a second. Let's see. It's probably something silly I'm missing, like a little check mark. It might even be, I feel like there was a restart upon save that needed to be checked for some of these things. Let me look from the bottom up. White balance, time loop, transitions, defaults, invert, open drain. I'm not using a relay. Let's open that somewhere else. Nothing else is on 32. Let's save. Let's go back here. Let me try the remote just to see if it's a GUI thing and it actually is listening. So, nope. Does not care about that. Okay. Tick audio reactive enabled. Let's see. Config. LED prefs. It just does not want to stick this to 33 and stay there. So strange. Todd says, oh my God, centering everything on the UI is horrendous. Yeah, this everything being centered is so weird. Save. LED preferences. Oh, it went to 33. So let me now see if it'll agree to go to 30. By the way, this is just weird, and I'm sure I'm doing something wrong or there's a fix, but you can use other pins for IR as well if you're plugging in your own. In fact, I think you can plug in something on this little 3-pin JST on the side. There's a 4-pin one that's semi-QT, but there's another one that's just some IO pins and power and ground. All right, LED preferences. Yeah, it just does not want to go to that. Oh, thank you. VP TechOx. Changes to I2S settings require hardware reset. So let me power cycle it. I wonder if that's in the guide. If this works, and it's not in the guide, I'll put it in the guide. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we're connected. This little power button, by the way, just turns off the LEDs and that I'm using in the UI here. This is a nice way to just check without messing with anything else if you're connected. So now in config, let's jump down to 32. So it's interesting. If that's the case, then it means I2S did not release it, but this UI did. So the UI was letting me pick a thing that it can't actually use. LED preferences, and it stayed. Hey, thanks VP Tech Ops. I bet that did it. So let's go back, change a color here. Now let's change a color with the remote. Remote. Bing! Hey! All right. I'm making a note. Check for Learn Guide. Power cycle after I2S change. We did it, gang. Hey, thank you so much, everyone, for pitching in on figuring that out. And VP Tech Ops nailed it. All right. Oh, Bob said that they have to go deal with a snowstorm. Bye, Bob. All right. So we have just individual color stuff, and this is accurate. This is the 44-key remote. If you find anything that looks like that, like on Amazon or Alibaba or something, it probably works. This should be orange, should be red, so that's great. Brightness, I can dim it from here, I can brighten it from here. It smoothly fades up and down as you hold those. Get it darker so you can still see colors. And then last thing I'll show is in our Okay, so we're using the PC mode interface. So normally, if you're on your phone, you'll see down at the bottom colors, effects, segments, presets. PC mode kind of puts all that stuff together, which can be nice. So in PC mode here, I can do things like pick or sculpt some animation. Let's do our chase from before. So the green and red chase with a low speed. And I think this changes the chase segment size. All right, so let's say that right there, sort of a twinkly, Christmassy thing that I want. I can now create a preset for that. So plus preset, chase 2, apply at boot, it's saved to ID 1. Great, save. Chase 1. So now if I go back to solid, pick a solid color, I can just click on this preset, chase 2. Or I can do it from the remote. I haven't tested it exactly on this remote, but let's see, it should work. So on remote, DIY 1 should do preset 1, boom. So just skip to preset 1. So now if we do some different, how about blink the whole strand. Let's make a third color. Whoa, not that way. Can we do a 3-color blink? Blink. Let's pick that. Is that doing that? I don't think it is. Green, red. Oh, some of them are blue down on this end. Okay, it's like a gradient thing. I don't love that. Let's go back to colors 1 and 2. All right, I can't remember, but I won't torture you with that. But let's so we've got this. Oh, why is it acting like it's a 20 segment strand instead of a 40? Did I break that at some point? Fig, LED preferences, 40. All right. Save. Back. Solid. Everyone blue. Okay, good. Chase. Chases everyone. Okay. I'll make this one look different colors too, so we know for sure. So blink from, this won't be super Christmassy, pink to blue. So there we go. We'll make this one faster. Save that as a new preset. Blink 2, save to ID2, and ID2 should correlate to DIY2 on here. So if I go to 1, we get our holly and ivy or whatever, and then DIY2, boop, chase 2. So once you get IR figured out, pretty easy. These work really well, and you can do individual solid colors still, I believe. So if I hit just yellow and pink. Oh, it's interesting. So that lets me change the 2 palette colors. That's pretty neat. Let's go purple. Green. Yeah, that's interesting. So that changes the background, like the 2 available colors. I had no idea it worked that way. That's pretty cool. Or I can go back to DIY, and that should respect my saved colors in the that are saved in those presets. I won't do this right now, and I've done this before on the show, but you can also add a playlist so that if you want it to spend 10 minutes in one pattern and then move to the next one, all that is pretty simple to set up. All right, so let's end that there. I will try to do a little bit more of a tree setup with this, and then maybe we'll look at doing audio reactive, and I'll write this up. And I promise I've made notes. I will make sure that the Learn Guide helps you figure out what you guys helped me figure out. All right, that I think is going to do it for the show. So thanks everyone for stopping by. I'm going to play some games after this. I'm going to try to fix that one monitor over there. Let me turn this the spotlight off of here so we can see some monitors. I'll hide the one that's glitched out there for whatever reason. Let's see. Mike Jones said, that's cool. I was playing around with controlling RGB pixels with an MCU, so 3 pins for each pixel ran out quick. The timing was confusing. I did get Perlin noise as a random blink delay and made it breathe in a cool way. That's cool. Very cool. Love the Perlin noise. All right. That is going to do it. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming by to the show. As I head on out, I just want to mention a couple of things. 15% off from the holiday gift list on Adafruit. Just go to Adafruit. You will see a banner prominently with the holiday gift guide. Anything on that guide, including some of the things that we played around with here today, like Sparkle Motion, will be 15% off with that coupon code. That's good until the 7th of December. And I will keep you informed. We'll put stuff out on our socials, but that should be happening in the next couple weeks, probably the 17th. If everyone's good with that and I can get everything together, then we will do an unboxing together. So stay tuned on Adafruit for a deep dive with Foamy Guy tomorrow. And then we'll be back with another product pick of the week on Tuesday. I'll be hosting Show and Tell on Wednesday. There'll be a 3 Hangouts Wednesday morning. No Ask an Engineer until the new year. All right, thanks everyone so much for Adafruit Industries. I'm John Park. This has been John Park's Workshop. Bye-bye.